Hey guys, it's Simon and welcome back to my tutorial series about LibGDX and Kotlin. I record this part actually after the first 4 or 5 parts because in the first part I had to cut out a couple of things because it got way too long and had to do some problems with launching the Android thing, which was a problem on my side because it was already installed before with something else. And now I want to cover those topics which I missed. And it's important that you know that before the next part actually, that you get some basic understanding there. So what I did cut out in the first part was the explanation how Gradle is set up and how the project layout looks like. And this is the first thing that I want to cover now. So what you need to know is that we set up a multi-Gradle project or multi-project, I think it's called. What you need to know here is that in your Gradle property or Gradle project itself, you have a settings Gradle file where you see that we include Android Core and LWJGL3. What that means is that Android, the folder in here, is a project. It has its own build Gradle file. The Core project, the Core folder, has a build Gradle file and is its own project. And LWJGL is its own project with a build Gradle file. LWJGL is the desktop launcher, so the desktop backend of LibGDX. So when we start a desktop application, this is what is used. It's the more modern one. Then the one that LibGDX is currently using without the free at the end. Then we have the Android project, which is used to run your application on Android. There we come to a moment to it because I had to adjust 2 things there, which I guess you most likely also need to adjust, but let me know if you face the same problems or not. And we have the Core project, which is the shared code between desktop, Android, what else do we have? The web browser backend and the iOS backend. So your game code is actually only happening in the Core project. And in my opinion, you don't need to understand Gradle 100%. I explain how you add additional dependencies for KTX in the upcoming parts, but I think it's good to know if you know what these files are doing. So that's why I want to give you a short overview. So first of all, we are using a so-called Gradle wrapper. So we have a Gradle folder with a wrapper in there, and there you see that we are currently using Gradle 6.3. And no one needs to install Gradle or anything, because if you send out your project with the wrapper, then actually everyone has already this specific version of Gradle in it. So this Gradle wrapper jar is Gradle version 6.3, which can then be used to build anything or run specific Gradle tasks. So this is the first thing to mention. Then a little bit explanation, what is the root build Gradle file? So there you specify the locations where you want to look for dependencies. So in our case, we have the GDX dependency, we have the Ashley dependency, we also have the KTX dependencies, we have the dependencies to the Kotlin language and so on. And this is defined always in a repository section. I won't explain what is a build script, what is all projects, sub-projects and so on. I will not go into the details. Just for you to know, the sub-projects are actually the things that we saw before. So it's the Android Core and LWJGL project. So there we also define then these repositories. So if we define a dependency, we see that in a moment, then Gradle is looking up in those different locations. And if it finds the jar with the specific version there, it will download it. Okay, which brings us to the desktop application. So there you have a dependencies block as you see it here. So the desktop project depends on the Core project, of course, and in addition it uses the LWJGL3 backend with GDX version. We see in a moment what that is, and it used the GDX platform. So these are the dependencies what we need to run the desktop project. And in addition there's the Core project, which I briefly show. There we have some dependencies specified as well. So the initial setup, there you have those 3 lines in it. And since I recorded already a couple of other parts, so there we will add the KTX extensions that you see here. And what is this $KTX version and so on? So when you go to the Gradle properties file of the root project, there you will find certain constants which actually define the versions that you want to use for certain dependencies. So for example, for GDX, we are using version 1.9.10. If you want to use the snapshot version, then I think it would be this one, if I remember correctly. So there you can define the versions that Gradle is using, and you only define it once and can then reference it in the different Gradle files with the $ syntax that you saw before. I think this is important to know. So you have a root project file, you have the repository location, you have the dependencies per project. So we have a desktop, a core, and the Android project, and you have the Gradle properties file where you define the different versions that you want to use in the project. So I think this is the basic stuff that you need to know. All the other things you can read up in other tutorials. So for example, what is the plugin application? What does it mean? What is this char task doing and how to modify it and so on. So this you can read up in other tutorials, because I asked that if I should cover that in more detail, and the common response was that we should not cover it in more detail. One thing to mention here, so when you compare it to the GitHub project on my GitHub account, you will notice that this is not a one-to-one copy, because they actually use the Kotlin DSL. So this is the Groovy syntax, so the Groovy language Gradle syntax. And in the project on GitHub, I use the Kotlin language for defining the Gradle files. And it's also then called buildgradle.kts instead of just build.gradle. And I think settings Gradle KTS. Okay. Then I noticed one error. So in the next part, or in the part after that, when we convert the Java classes to Kotlin file, then please fix something in the Android project, because for whatever reason I failed with moving the package. So it was just called Android instead of com GitHub Quillraven dark matter. So please fix the package to whatever you defined your package name. Maybe you did not make that mistake, but I did it. And also in the Android launcher, before I think it was something like this: add override and function. But to have it the Kotlin way, actually it should look like this. So fix the Android launcher then to this code here. Make it big so that you see it. This should be the Android launcher code that you use in the project. Unfortunately, I failed a little bit with that, but this would be the correct version. And finally, the Gradle file for Android. So what I had to fix there. Please also just watch the parts after that. So there we change, for example, these lines here. But what I had to do, so first of all, the compile SDK version, in my case, I had to switch it to 29. Maybe you need to do that as well. Build tool version, I think I had to switch to .3. There was a warning in IDE, so just using the recommendation, it changed it then to this one. And below here with the target SDK version, I think out of the box with the setup it was 25. Then there was I think it's an error actually, that this could not be used for the Google Play Store. And then I switched it to 29, because that is actually the version that I used in the GitHub project, and I know it works, and it's also the compile SDK version. And with those changes, so the target SDK and compile SDK version, then I was actually able to run it also on my phone. So now when I launch the Android launcher, and this is the phone that I have, the Samsung S8. If I run it there, so now on my Android phone, I would see the black screen with the ship that we are rendering. And I think this is the run code. So there you see maybe already somewhere in here, I don't know exactly, you would see the debug lines that we added. So here first screen is shown. This is one of the debug lines. So trust me, it's really running then on the phone. Okay, so this was a short part, but I just wanted to explain that because it wasn't explained in the part before. And also I did not show how to run the Android stuff on the phone. And with this information, hopefully it should be fine for you as well. Okay, thanks for watching, and then see you in the next part. That makes then more sense what I'm talking here about. Thank you and bye bye.